Welcome to Commander Tilt. My name is Clark. Just a little bit about my channel. I do fun and focused commander decks, and I then take all of my decks and put them onto a bracket, and then I fight the decks against themselves with the competition style elimination, see who's the best of all of my decks. I like to do this partially so that I can get a feel for how the decks play and just to practice playing them. And of course, with COVID-19, I'm not allowed to go and play with my friends anymore, so it's just a way for me to still keep in touch and play Magic. A little bit about today's competition. This is a semifinals. We have Phelddagrif versus Shanna, Sisay's Legacy. Phelddagrif, of course, is a Bant commander. It's kind of a pillow fort style deck. It's got lots of protections and synergies, and then just a few win conditions, but the win conditions are brutal. It is not a group hug deck. Shanna is an interesting deck. I built it specifically for the channel, and I'll probably take it apart after the end of this competition. It is a go wide strategy, but it's interesting because Shanna's card, the wider it gets, the bigger she gets. So it's kind of Voltron-y too, but not on purpose. It's just when it's going wide, it makes Shanna really big. Now, on the recording of this video, it's kind of interesting. I played the first game, and this is always a best of 3 competition. I played the first game and I was blown away. It was so exciting. There was so much going on, and it just felt like this is definitely the video for my channel. And yet, I always do a best of 3. So I played the second and third game as well. And the second and third game were snoozers. They were very boring, but luckily the winner of the best of 3 was the winner of the first game. So the first game that I recorded is now the one that I am presenting to you, and it is a doozy. So I sure hope you enjoy the video today, and with that, I'll get into the hands. Shanna's hand included Overwhelming Stampede, Queen's Commission, Trusted Pegasus, Slippery Karst, Blossoming Sands, and 2 forests. Phelddagrif drew Girapur Orrery, Rites of Flourishing, Island Sanctuary, Simic Signet, Blossoming Sands, Seaside Citadel, and a snow-covered forest. Phelddagrif won the die roll. Let's get started. Right, our first draw is going to be Temple Bell. We shall put down a Blossoming Sands, gaining 1 life, and we're going to pass the turn. This is Yisan, the Wandering Bard, here to help tell the story of this sordid battle. On our first turn, we did witness the Blossoming Sands beneath the weatherlight. Right, first we're going to untap. The draw for turn is going to be a snow-covered forest. Next, we're going to throw down a snow-covered forest, and then tapping 2 mana, we'll play the Simic Signet, and pass the turn. Shanna prepares her fleet again for battle. Rootborn defenses seem like a great thing to add to our defense. We witness a forest beneath the weatherlight, and as we travel forward, the Wall of Roots joins our cause. First, I'm going to untap. The draw for turn is going to be Dictate of Karametra. I'll put down a snow-covered forest, and then, tapping 2 mana and a Simic Signet, I'm going to play the Rites of Flourishing, which means I can play an extra land. I'll put down a Seaside Citadel, and shall pass the turn. Now, I'm not a big fan of giant hippos with wings, but I did notice now we can put down 2 lands per turn, which is quite awesome, as well as taking 2 draws per turn. We witness the plains and the forest adding to our energy field, and then we call forth 2 vampires to serve our cause.
I want to drink your blood.
Quiet, we're here to serve a Shanna. Next, Shanna comes aboard. Her might, her victory, her stature, wonderful. first I'm going to untap. I forgot to mention, this is Fontero. You might remember me from the previous video. I'll draw a snow-covered forest and cast out. I'll put down one of the forests as my land drop. Then I'm going to pay 2 mana for Island Sanctuary, which means nothing can attack me should I skip my draw. I'll put down the Temple Bell, and I'll pass the turn. I'm quite concerned. I did notice an island on the horizon, and it looks like the hippos are fleeing to the island. We must attack quickly before the hippos get to the island. Sarah's blessing is put upon our field. Thank you, Shanna. Thank you, Sarah. Oh, Avison's Pilgrim joins the fray as well. Now the attack charges forth. The vampires gain us some energy, and Shanna hits for a great deal of damage. Our game is underfoot. It shall be a victory for us, I am certain. Alright, first I'm going to untap. The Rites of Flourishing allows me to draw an extra card, so I'm going to skip one of my draws so the Island Sanctuary goes into effect. My single draw is Thunderstaff. Next I'll tap the Temple Bell, allowing me to draw a snow-covered forest. Well, thank you very much! That's the Soul Warden! Put down a snow-covered forest for my land for turn. Then I'm going to tap the mana for Phelddagrif. Then I'm going to tap 3 mana for the Thunderstaff. I think I'll redact one of my land taps and tap the Simic Signet instead, and then I'll pass the turn. Oh, I cannot believe this! The hippos have escaped to an island! We can't even see them! They're over this vast ravine, this great river! How are we going to attack? The plains beneath us give us no solace. Shanna puts forth a call for more help, and a trusted Pegasus comes to the aid. Yes, the Pegasus can get us across this moat, and perhaps we have a chance. Shanna puts forth another call, and this time, more lands come to the field, giving us more power. First, I'm going to untap. Again, I'll skip my normal draw, but I will draw 1 card for Rites of Flourishing. My single draw is Respite. Next, I'm going to take the Simic Signet and some appropriate land, and drop the card Cast Out. I'm going to get rid of that trusted Pegasus, so he's got no flyers. That means he can't attack me at all. I'll put the trusted Pegasus underneath Cast Out so I remember it's exiled under it. I'll tap the Temple Bell and draw Kumina's Awakening. Well, thank you so much! We get a forest! And I shall pass the turn. Again, he's behind that island. I don't know what we're gonna do. Encroaching wastes are put onto our field of battle, as well as a forest. But I'm seeing no great solace in this victory. We shall tap the mana for the Soul Warden, and the presence of Gond is placed upon our wall of roots. This allows an elf warrior to join our fray.
For Vitugozi and for Shanna!
Shanna gets more and more powerful as time goes on. And step, I'm going to tap 3 mana and give you 3. What are we supposed to do with hippos? Why are the hippos joining our army? Well, if nothing else, Shanna gets more powerful with each hippo. She's up to 10 power. This is actually good. I shall untap. Again, I'll only draw one card instead of my given two. Draw is Diligent Farmhand. Oh, that's my card. Next, I'm going to tap the mana for Komina's Awakening. I do have the city's blessing, so I shall pass the turn. Right, we're going to untap, raise the alarm, and Trostani Discordant have joined the sidelines. Trostani enters the fray, and the Soul Warden grants us more life. Shanna gets bigger. Trostani also brings soldiers with her. This is fantastic. Shanna gets even bigger. She gets tougher with each iteration. On your end step, I shall tap 3 mana and give you 3 more hippos. Keep the hippo tokens coming. These hippos are helping us out! Again, on your end step, I shall tap the Temple Bell. I draw a Grey Pelt Refuge. And we get Hive Stirrings! Now I shall untap. Because of Island Sanctuary, I can only draw 1 less card, but I'm allowed to draw 2 because of the 2 enchantments. I draw Domineering Wheel and Snow-Covered Forest. Then I tap the Temple Bell and I get Yavimaya Granger. There's my girl Essence Warden! I put on a Snow-Covered Forest for my land for turn. And a Grey Pelt Refuge, which gains me a life. Next, I'm going to tap a boatload of green mana. And I'm going to put down a Diligent Farmhand. What a handsome devil. And the Yavimaya Granger hits the battlefield as well. I'll search up a forest and put it onto the battlefield tapped. And I shall pass the turn. Okay. Let's take a look here. Slaughter the Strong and Increasing Devotion. Some interesting spells in our back pocket. We're gonna summon some sliver creatures to join our fray. Shanna again gets bigger with each creature, and these sliver creatures, although weird, are helpful. On your end step, I'm going to tap 4 mana and give you 4 more hippos. More hippos? More power for Shanna! Right, I'm going to untap now. On my upkeep, I do not pay for the Yavimaya Granger and it goes to the graveyard. Next I shall draw 2 cards instead of 3, so the Island Sanctuary stays in play. I get Sleep and a Soul Ring. I tap the Temple Bell and draw a Simic Growth Chamber. And we see our trusty Suture Priest, Ix! I'll put down the Simic Growth Chamber as my land for turn, bouncing the Blossoming Sands to my hand. Then I'll play the Blossoming Sands as my second land drop, gaining another life. I'll put on the Soul Ring and pass the turn. Celestia Signet and Triplicate Spirits are added to our back pocket. The Suture Priest Ix joins the battle. Ix is a valiant warrior. Next, Triplicate Spirits. 3 ghosts enter the fray. Our army grows and grows. Shanna grows more and more mighty with each turn. She's at 22 power. She's a one-shot kill. On my end step, I'm going to tap the mana for Dictate of Kerametra. And then I'm going to tap 2 green mana, which produces 4 hippos. Then I shall untap for my turn. I'm allowed to draw 2 cards. I get Ether Gale and Keep Watch. I'll tap the Simic Guildgate, activating the Simic Signet and tapping the Soul Ring as well for Ether Gale. I have no response! The 6 creatures I return to hand include all 3 spirits. Being tokens, they then vanish. I'll also return the Soul Warden, the Suture Priest, and Trostoni Discardant. What a blow! So disappointed! I'll put a snow-covered forest down for my land for turn, and I shall pass the turn. That island sanctuary is really eating our battle plan up. We have no flyers, we have no disenchant, we have no way to destroy that enchantment. We'll put down the Soul's Attendant and the Suture Priest. This pumps up Shanna a little bit. Putting down the plains. Then we shall tap the mana for the Selesnya Signet. A helpful bauble if nothing else. Shanna again makes a call and more soldiers join the battlefield. Shanna gets more and more powerful with each growing call. We shall have to discard to hand size, and strategically we put down the increasing devotion. On your end step, I'm going to tap all of my green mana. Takes me a wee bit of time to count it all up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It produces 16 hippos. 16 hippos? Are you kidding me? No, that gives you a bunch of life. I should have done it while the Suture Priest and the Soul Warden were vanished. Just didn't think of it. Shanna's a 36-36. Temple Bell, allowing me to draw an Esper Panorama. And we get a Plains. Now I shall untap for my turn. I'll take 2 draws instead of 3. Keeping the Island Sanctuary active, I get Flurry of Wings and Coastal Tower. Shall put the Esper Panorama down for my land drop. And my second land drop is going to be the Coastal Tower. Next I'll tap the Soul Ring. And using only one of the mana, I'll sacrifice the Esper Panorama and search up an island which goes onto the battlefield tapped. And then I shall pass the turn. We have 111 life. The spells in our back pocket are Wayfaring Temple and Outflank. But we can do no attacks. We have to discard the hand size. On your end step, I'm going to tap all of my green mana, including a Simic Signet. Counting it all up takes me a wee bit of time. And of course, I'm doubling all my mana because of the Dictate of Karametra. I end up with 22 hippos. 22 hippos! Next I shall tap the Temple Bell. And I'll get the card Restock. We get an Aegis Angel. Shall untap. And then shall do 2 cards instead of 3 because of the Island Sanctuary. I get Riot Control and Suture Priest. My Suture Priest's name is Zakar. I shall play Zakar, and I shall pass the turn. That Island Sanctuary is eating our lunch. We can't get across the Island Sanctuary to make any attacks. We have something ridiculous, like 40 monsters on our army. I think more than that. In fact, we'll cast Increasing Devotion out of our graveyard. 10 more humans join the battle. Hey, did you hear Shanna? Why does it smell like hippo here? We're at 165 life. Shanna is a 68 creature. And yet we can do nothing because we have no... flyer! Aegis Angel! At least now we can do a little damage. Next turn. On your end step, I'm going to tap all of my green mana. This time I also have a Simic Signet available to tap. end up with 23 total mana because of Rites of Flourishing. And I shall give you another 23 hippos.
23 hippos! We're at 189 life! It's preposterous!
On my turn, I shall untap. I'll tap the Temple Bell to draw a card. I'll get Gideon, Champion of Justice.
Each draw gets us closer to our disenchant. This one? Memorial to Glory.
I untap the Temple Bell as part of my untap step. My 2 draws for turn are Bite into Thassa and Unwind. I shall tap the Coastal Tower for 1 and an additional 1, and a Soul Ring, 2 more, and cast Gideon, Champion of Justice. Starts with 4 loyalty. I'll bump him up +1 for 5, and then count how many creatures. I get a total of 105 loyalty.
I have 90 creatures, I know!
Side of the battlefield. Moving to end step, I shall have to discard the hand size, Flurry of Wings, Girapur Orrery, and Bite into Thassa as I pass the turn.
There's 2 draws. Reclamation Sage. Disenchant something. Fumigate. Does me no good. He has no creatures. I'll play Angelic Excitation.
I'll have a response to that. I'm gonna tap 3 mana and cast Unwind.
Are you
Countering that
serious?
spell.
This is unbelievable.
Then I shall untap the lands from the Unwind trigger. And, as a further response,
No.
I shall tap the mana for Domineering
This can't
Wheel.
be.
She'll gain control of 3 target non-attacking creatures.
No.
Of course, I'm gonna grab the
You've got to be
Suture
kidding me.
Priest, the Soul's Attendant, and the Aegis Angel.
My only
There
flyer.
are now creatures on my side of the battlefield. Seems like a good time to tap all my mana for hippos. I already capped my Simic Signet, so I end up with 22 green mana, which is 22 hippos. But the Suture Priest, the double Suture Priest, does damage against you.
I'm hit for 44
And
life
then on my
over
end
that.
step, those creatures return back to your side of the battlefield.
Well, thanks a lot. I have no attacks. I will put my land down for my main phase, because you made me skip it, and then I have to discard the hand size Fumigate.
Alright, I'm going to untap. I only get to draw 2 cards. I get Howling Golem and Snow-Covered Forest. I'm going to -15 Gideon and exile all other permanents. First, in response, I shall return Phelddagrif to my hand.
Now at this point I get to draw a card, but I get too confused because I was spending too much time trying to figure out how to get out of this pickle. There goes all my lands going straight to exile. And now 90 creatures go to exile. All of my token army, all of these great warriors that have joined my cause. Shanna goes to the command zone. I have to send my Selesnya Signet into exile. I send my vampires into exile, and I send all of your hippos into exile. Everything is gone.
I shall tap the Temple Bell in response and draw Dream Tides.
Well, I get a draw. It's a plains.
I'll put a Snow-Covered Forest down for my land for turn. Is my board clear? I shall pass the turn.
When Cast Out went into exile, I get my trusted Pegasus back. Ha 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 ha! I have a flyer. 148 life. Well, he does have a 90-90 creature. Well, my draw is a Fertilid. I'll put down a Plains, and then a Desperate Blocker Soul Warden, and I'll pass the turn.
Alright, I shall draw an island. I'll put down the island. Move into combat. I'll swing with Gideon, making him a 90-90 indestructible.
I'll block with the Trusted Pegasus. draw as Martyr's Cause. Don't have the mana to cast it. I'll pass the turn.
Is a Horn of Greed. Move into combat, I'll swing with Gideon again.
No blocks. I'll take the damage.
I shall discard the hand size. Put him sleep in the graveyard.
It draws a Farhaven Elf. I'll tap 1 mana for the Dauntless Bodyguard. And I'll pass the turn.
Right, I shall untap my draw as the Simic Guildgate, which I put down. Then move into combat to attack with Gideon.
I'll block with the Dauntless Bodyguard.
I'll pass the turn.
My draw is a Plains. I'll pass the turn.
I shall untap. My draw for turn is Autumn's Prayer. Move into combat, I'll swing with Gideon again.
I have to block with the Soul Warden.
I'll pass the turn.
I draw a forest. I'll play the forest. And then I'll play an Essence Warden and pass.
I shall untap. Draw for turn is a forest. I shall tap 3 mana for the Horn of Greed. And then when I put my forest down, I gain a draw. I get the plains. Move into combat. I'll swing with Gideon.
I'll block with the Essence Warden.
And I pass the turn.
I draw a forest. I'll tap 3 mana for the Farhaven Elf. I get to put another forest down because of the Farhaven Elf. And then because I played a land, 2 lands, I get to draw 2 cards and I get 2 plains. I'll pass the turn.
Draw for turn is a forest. I'll put down a plains, which allows me to draw Mercy Killing. Moving to combat, I'll swing with Gideon.
Block with the Farhaven Elf.
Tap the mana from Mercy Killing, forcing you to sacrifice the Farhaven Elf. And since the new elf is not declared as a blocker, Gideon gets in for lethal damage. And with that, Phelddagrif is the victor.
There you have it. Phelddagrif is the winner, and Phelddagrif is moving on to the finals. Next video I post is going to be Zada Hedron Grinder versus Scion of the Ur-Dragon, and we shall see who will be facing off against Phelddagrif in the second Commander Tilt ever filmed. I just want to let you know, I've already started working on the next Commander Tilt, which will be Commander Tilt 3. This time I'm doing 16 decks, and it's going to be a double elimination, which allows me to film a few more battles, and if you've never seen a double elimination tournament, you get to see kind of how that works as well. I'm trying to spread the colors real wide, and I do have some new decks, including at least 1 deck from the new Ikoria set, possibly 2. I'm still trying to decide if I should build another one. I hadn't fully decided yet. I want to thank everybody for watching my video today. I do have a Patreon page. Check out the Patreon page information in the show notes below. And remember to like and subscribe. Have a great day. I've got a couple of jokes for you about the coronavirus. The first one I want to tell you is this. Well, I could tell you a joke about the coronavirus, but it will take you a couple of weeks to get it. Secondly, I'd like to mention, this is the first time in human history we can save the human race by lying in front of the TV and doing absolutely nothing. Let's not mess this up.